Woohoo! All right. Welcome, everybody, to Yarwood's Mat Chat. This is our new YMA Chat video cast. And I am Coach Les, and along with Sensei from Yarwood Martial Arts, Mr. John Yarwood is in the house. And I just want to take a moment to introduce myself, and then I will let him introduce himself. And as you can see, my information is on the picture, and we'll get Mr. Yarwood to put his contact info up also in there. This is our first edition, so there might be some hiccups along the way here, so bear with us. My goal today is to first introduce Mr. Yarwood, and he will tell you kind of our vision and mission for this video cast over the next few months. And I want to thank you for your time. We are broadcasting on a couple of Facebook pages and LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. And we will be increasing that to another YouTube page here once we get approval. And just looking forward to making a difference with today's youth. I am an integrity coach. What I deal with is communication, accountability, relationship, sales, and all of that which we use communication to level up our businesses. I've been a business coach now for 21 years, and I absolutely love making a difference with people, no matter where they're at in the stage of their business, whether they have a $50 million business with over 200 employees, or if it is a solopreneur that is just getting started. I like the thought that I get to make a difference with other people with all of the training that has been given to me over the past several decades. It's my turn to give back, and this is one of the ways in which I can do it. So thank you so much, Mr. Yarwood, for giving me another opportunity to give back. And I'm going to pass the mic over to you to share a little bit about who you are. And then once you've done that, we'll get going with the introduction.
Thank you, sir. My name is Mr. John Yarwood. I am a 5th degree black belt. I'm the owner and head instructor, chief instructor at Yarwood's Martial Arts, located in Champlin, Minnesota. We have been in business now for coming up on 11 years. We started a little bit back in the day in 2013 at a gymnastics school located in Maple Grove with one-day classes with 3 students. And we moved from there into a Grace Fellowship Church just down the road from where we're located right now. Spent 3 years there while we were growing, and we are now currently up in Champlin Marketplace in about 114th or so in Champlin. In a location there, we have currently probably standing at about 90 students. So we've been growing and growing and growing, and it's just getting better and better. We've had to increase the size of our mats, all that kind of stuff. So I have been a martial artist now for 16 years. Like I said, I'm a 5th degree black belt working towards my 6th degree. I've been enjoying martial arts. It gets better and better all the time, and I've now been able to turn it into a business and be able to share my vision and my passion with other students and pass that on to the future. So it's been something that's been pretty awesome for me. And then I have the good fortune of having my son, who has been training since he was 3, just turned 18. He has graduated from high school, and now he is going to be my full-time head instructor and eventually going to be taking over the business from me. So I've seen it personally firsthand, what it is, what the legacy can be, and what the future can hold for it. So I just I appreciate being able to pass that legacy on to others.
Awesome. And today, one of the things that we kind of came up with as an idea to get the ball rolling was to give you an introduction to Mr. Yarwood's introduction. Is one of the things that we have, he and I kind of collaborated on this whole piece of being able to see the difference that having martial arts as a basis for your life the difference it can make for kids in school with ADHD, ADD, OCD, anxiety disorders. And, just in my short time, just a little under 2 years, I've seen such amazing breakthroughs with some of the kids that have joined, and breakthroughs with myself. And I wanted to do this and come on and share, not only from a perspective of Mr. Yarwood as the instructor, owner, and this is his business, but also from one of the senior, age-wise, members of his organization, and with all of the experience that I've had leading classes over. I worked for a personal training and development company for 10 years and have coached almost 5,000 people. And I just see such a wonderful opportunity for people to mix martial arts into their everyday life and what that does for them health-wise, stress-wise, mental-wise, physical, all of the emotional, all of it. It teaches, it provides, it instructs, it coaches such a dramatic shift in life. So to start that off, I'm going to pull up a PowerPoint and I'm going to let Mr. Yarwood go through his introduction. And then between the two of us, we may do some Q&A back and forth. And then we'll shut down for our first session. And by the way, if you are watching this live, which I know right now 4 people are watching it live, 3 on Less is More Coaching X, formerly known as Twitter, and 1 on Yarwood's Martial Arts Facebook page. So if you have questions, you can actually type them in and they will pop up in our comment section, and I will do my best as the host to answer those, to also put them on the screen, because we can put them much like I can. Let's see if I can use this as a demonstration. Here's the banner to my website, right? Here's the banner to like a little ticker that's for my phone number and email. So we can, share those comments very much like that. All right. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to you, Mr. Yarwood, and I'm going to pop this bad boy up. All right. Let me hide that. And there we go. So this is the beginning. And if there's anything you need as we go through, Mr. Yarwood, let me know.
Cool. So this is the intro that I do. If you come in as a prospect to our classes, we will put you or your child into an intro lesson, a physical intro lesson. We'll teach them a few basic moves, teach them how to stand properly, how to answer loudly, how to be respectful and all that stuff. Just kind of teach them how class works. And then I'll sit down with mom and dad and go over basically what our program is, what it has to offer, and see if it can't be something that is a good fit for your family. So we start off with just by talking about who we are. We're Yarwood's Martial Arts. We're a school that is represented by National Martial Arts Alliance, which is headquartered in Denver. We have 75 schools nationwide, and we have some international schools as well. South Africa, Australia, Peru are all represented, as well as Canada. And that is important in the fact that we are a nationally recognized martial arts organization, and we have representation pretty much anywhere you want to go. So if you have to find other schools for purposes of moving or whatever, that you will always be able to find a family wherever it is you go. So we make sure that we have that opportunity for everybody who is part of our school. The first thing we talk about when we're doing martial arts, obviously, is physical conditioning. So there's 3 main components that we work on. First thing is going to be balance. When it comes to balance, balance is something that can't be trained. It just needs to be practiced. And a lot of the training that we do with our kicking and moving around and jumping, balance is something that gets worked on constantly. It's vital to all of the moves that we're doing, all the forms that we're doing, anything that we're doing with the physical movement. And then coordination comes into play where unlike like soccer or football or basketball, coordination with us is a little bit different in that all four limbs are moving at the same time, but they're doing different things. Sometimes we're jumping and landing on one foot while we're kicking. Sometimes we're doing two-hand combinations where both hands are doing something different while our feet are moving as well. So it takes a little bit more coordination to be able to do those things. First few classes, we see people struggle a lot, but as they start to figure it out, it becomes a little bit easier for them. So coordination is a huge part of what we do. And then flexibility, depending on your age, someone like myself or Mr. Les, flexibility is a little bit more of a struggle. Whereas little kids, flexibility comes natural to them. So the more kicking and practicing that you're doing, the more flexible you're going to become with our program. The next one is the most important piece for us, the life skills that we teach using martial arts. We have 9 different life skills that we focus on in each testing cycle, which lasts about 8 weeks. We focus on one in particular. So like currently we are working on goals and what goals mean and how they can be implemented into regular everyday life outside of the dojo. So when we talk about our life skills, we don't just tell them what life skills are. Like we don't just say goals are something to strive for. We actually give them examples of what goals are. And we usually use our black belt itself to implement those goals, like what it takes to become a black belt, what steps they have to take in order to get there, each rank that they have to earn, and then each rank they have to earn stripes along the way. So we break it down into smaller and smaller goals. And then we ask them how they can implement that outside of the dojo. How can they set goals for themselves at school? How can they set goals for themselves at home? What kind of things that they can do to become better people, better community members. So all those types of things. We also do obviously respect by bowing, saying yes sir, yes ma'am, showing respect to each other, speaking to each other properly. Discipline, self-esteem, all of them are covered. So we make sure that all this stuff is built into our program so our kids can really get a real grasp of what these things have for them when it comes to life in general. And as they get older, obviously they're going to need all these things. So it's a big part of what we do. Actually, it's the most important part. The next thing what we do is Taekwondo, which is a self-defense martial art based in Korea. For what our purpose is, we use it it's not a fight that we're trying to get people into, it's a defense of themselves. So we teach them how to be able to defend themselves both physically, but more importantly, how to defend themselves by using the confidence that they have built to be able to tell people that to leave them alone, to act as if they don't want to be messed with in the first place. When kids have confidence in themselves, it sends a message to others that they're not somebody that can be messed with. Bullies typically pick on people who struggle with self-esteem, who struggle socially, they're awkward, all those types of things. So we teach them the confidence first to be able to walk with straight shoulders and feel like they're important and that they're not to be messed with. And then the next level of that is a strong voice. So if they're having a voice for themselves, to be able to advocate for themselves, to use that voice to tell people to leave them alone, whatever the case may be, that helps to build their confidence as well. And then finally, if unfortunately it comes to physical, we teach them how to be able to break away from situations and get to safety. We teach them that safety is most important, not standing and fighting. So we make sure that they're using their physical abilities to get away and then get to safety and go tell somebody about what's going on to hopefully help them out of that situation. So our self-defense and bullying stuff is vital to everything that we do, because we have a lot of kids, unfortunately, in our school that get bullied, and we've had a lot of good stories about them being able to take that situation and turn around and become comfortable at school and not worry about any of that kind of situation. So it's been a very effective tool that we use for teaching our kids. We have a belt system, just like all martial arts. We have 9 different color belts that our kids earn from white through red. and all of those belts are broken into half steps. So each belt they do twice. One is a low rank and one is a high rank of each color. So we slow it down to build the foundation for what it is that they're going to be learning once they get to the black belt level. So it takes about 3 years to get from white belt to red belt, and then they'll spend a year in our red black program, which is basically our probationary period for them. They'll spend a year training, not only physically, but they're going to be learning a lot of other things as well. That's going to help them become a better black belt. We have them write some essays about what it means for them to become a black belt, why it's important to them. There's another essay we talked to them about saying thank you to those that helped them get there. They have to do a presentation in front of their peers of all the physical stuff that they've learned, give a speech about why it is that they're doing what they're doing. They have to do 12 hours of community service along the way. They have to they have to study actually the history of Taekwondo and what it is, where it comes from, and how it got to where it is now. It's just a big part of what we're doing. We want to make sure that it's not just a physical thing that they're doing, but a life journey that they're on, and that they continue it. The first stripe that they'll earn along each. So we do stripes during our testing cycles. They have to earn 6 different stripes to make sure that they're ready to test for their next belt. So the first one is the red one. It's just basic moves, any blocks, kicks, or strikes that they need to learn. We cover those. We make sure that they understand them. And then once they demonstrate that they know those, they'll earn their red stripe on their belt. The next one is the white stripe. They're going to be practicing taking those moves and putting them into a pattern or a form. And then they're going to take that form and they're going to memorize it. And then they're going to show us that they know all of those moves. The reason for that is that they can take the moves that they've learned and put them one right after the other. So they not just a single move at a time, but actually combinations of moves. Hands and feet are moving at the same time. They're doing directional stuff. They're doing jumping. They're doing turning, all those different things that go into our forms. The next stripe that they'll earn is the black stripe. It's called our knowledge stripe. So they're actually learning about Taekwondo, what it means. We review the life skill. We review what our organization history is, those types of things. So the black stripe is that next one. It's just the knowledge stripe of learning about Taekwondo and what we do. Our purple stripe is one of our most important stripes. It's our community service stripe. So we call it the good citizen stripe. So we require 2 activities of community service every testing cycle, essentially 1 every month. Now, we don't require them to go to, say, Feed My Starving Children or anything like that. While that is an opportunity for them, our goal is to teach them to give without any expectation of anything in return. So they can do anything, like I said, from Feed My Starving Children to helping out their neighbor take out the trash, helping an elderly person at a nursing home, helping out grandma and grandpa, whatever it is, going around the neighborhood, picking up trash, making their neighborhood look clean, whatever it is. The goal, like I said, is to teach them to give without any expectation of return. So they'll earn that purple stripe by doing that, spending some time giving of themselves. And then the next stripe is the yellow stripe. The yellow stripe is our most important stripe, I believe, is because it's everything that happens outside of the dojo. So we work on the triangle system, where we have the first part of the triangle is the dojo. So everything that they're learning inside, teaching Taekwondo and all the life skills. The second part of that triangle is at school. So making sure that they're doing all their homework, getting all their studies done, that they're learning, progressing, they're being good students, they're being respectful to their teachers, to their families, all that kind of stuff that happens in school. We have them fill out a sheet, bring it to their teacher. Their teacher will evaluate how they're doing, and then we'll give the teacher an opportunity to have us come in and visit them in their classroom. We'll do a bully seminar or a respect seminar, whatever it is the teacher is looking for, and then we'll have the teacher or that student help me teach the class. And then at the end of that class, which is usually about 20 minutes or so, that student gets to break a board in front of all of his peers. It's a lot of fun. They have a good time. The kids are screaming and laughing. And then we pull a surprise out where we have the teacher break a board in front of all the kids. So that's usually the best part. We put that on video, put it on our Facebook page. The kids absolutely love it. Teachers go crazy. It's just an awesome time. And then we hand out some treats to them just to kind of say thank you for having us in. And we have finish up and we have a great time. And then after we leave, I'm sure that kid becomes the star of their class. So it's super cool. And then they can invite their friends to come in and try martial arts with us and see how much fun it is, see what it is that they're learning, and just kind of be part of what they're already doing at our school. So it's an awesome opportunity to show their friends what it is that they're learning. The second part of that, and the third piece of the triangle, is the at-home part. So we expect all of our students to show all of their life skills all the time, and that includes at home, especially at home with mom and dad. And part of that is doing the things that they know they're supposed to be doing, like their chores. So if they have to do, clean up their room, make their bed, those types of things, that they're doing those chores on a regular basis, and not only doing them on a regular basis, but making sure that they're doing them without being told to do them, because all kids know the chores that they're supposed to do. Mom and dad have already told them that, and it's not mom and dad's job to continue to get after them for those chores. It's their responsibility to make sure those chores are done. We have a chore chart that the kids can access and parents can access, that they can keep track of all those chores, and they can earn stars or whatever it is that the parent wants to do. And then about every 2 weeks, we evaluate how they're doing, checking up on them, making sure that they're doing all that stuff. And if they're doing well, they're going to get something like take them out to ice cream at Cullen's Ice Cream in Champlin, or whatever it is that those kids want to do, for just to celebrate the fact that they're doing all the things that is required of them. Our goal is for our kids to do these things without having to get after them constantly, because if we're always talking to them about what it is that they need to do, telling them what to do, asking them about stuff, they're never going to learn that they have to do things on their own. So the goal is to have them have that ability to take care of things on their own. And then that leads us into the next part, which is our leadership piece. All people within the family have a leadership role to play, whether it be mom and dad or little kids. When it comes to little kids, leadership looks like helping mom and dad around the house with chores that aren't necessarily there. So say mom is making dinner, we go in and say, hey, mom, can I help set the table? Or mom, should I clear the table for you? Or dad, can I help with weeding the garden, or whatever that is? They're going to want to go out and assist in whatever it is needs to be done around the house. And that also, looking at that, we're trying to get them to do that without being told to do it or being asked to do it. They just see something needs to get done and they go do it. And that comes from the encouragement of the family, of the parents saying, hey, we really appreciate what you're doing around the house. It helps us out a lot when you put away the dishes for us after dinner, or you're helping dad with the yard work. When we got that extra help, it makes everything better. So we really appreciate that. Same thing, take them out, celebrate it. Thanks for helping out around the house. Mom and dad really appreciate it, and recognize that they're doing those things, because kids want attention, whether it be good or bad. They're going to try and get it. And if they get more good attention, that's better for everybody. So we don't have any yelling in the house. We don't have any disagreements. It's just, okay, everybody's doing their part to make sure that the household is running smoothly. Kids are learning how to take care of themselves. So that's an awesome thing. And then finally, we have our purple belt is the blue stripe. Blue stripe is our ready to test stripe. We go back and look, make sure all of the other stripes are on their belt. They've earned everything. They'll show us their form again, recognize that they have been doing their community service and all the stuff at home. If they have all those things in place, they'll get their blue stripe. And the blue stripe tells everybody that they're ready to test. So then testing comes along. They'll get out on the floor. They'll do their form, all their board breaks, all the stuff that they learned in the past 8 weeks of class. If they pass the test, they'll get their new belt, and then the whole thing starts all over again with earning the red stripe, white stripe, black stripe, all the way down. So we do that every 8 weeks until they get to red belt, and then they start working on getting their black belt. So a lot of stuff to go over and cover, but it helps the kids to keep on track, helps mom and dad to understand where we are in that cycle for them earning their black belt. We do a 48-month curriculum when it comes to our karate kids and older. It takes, like I said, it takes 3 years to get to red belt, and then another year of training as a recommended black belt before they're eligible to test for their first degree. Now, it could take more time than 48 months, depending on how much work the kid is doing or not doing, but usually it's not going to take less. We try and make sure that kids are getting all the basics, the foundations of everything before they're ready to test for that black belt. And then they have to be approved by our staff to be able to test for that black belt and to get them ready for it. So it takes a lot of time. It's an investment, but ultimately I think it's worth it, and it pays off for that student in the long run. And then our class schedule, we meet classes, white, orange, yellow belts, beginners meet 4 days a week. They come in and they get a lot of training, and obviously the more that they're there, the more they're going to get out of the program. So we encourage our parents to fit as many classes per week into their schedule as possible, show up on time, get as much done as we can, so that way the kid is progressing on a path towards their black belt. Our curriculum, obviously, we work, like we talked about, traditional forms and the self-defense. We also do weapons, which is probably everybody's favorite. We do, for the younger kids, lower ranks, we do nunchucks, which is probably everybody's favorite. We do a bow staff, which is a long stick, and then we do a short stick called the collie stick, and then we rotate those around through our cycle, so the kids are getting the basic knowledge of how to utilize these weapons. They're not used for, obviously, for fighting or any of that kind of stuff. They just expand the hand-eye coordination of the kids of what they're already doing, and then also helps them to understand to respect their weapons, to not use them in a negative way. And they also have an opportunity to take all these things that they're doing and then compete in tournaments, which we have about 4 a year. They can go in and put themselves up against other kids at their level and their rank and see how they do, and just kind of have fun. And we have a state championship program, so kids can actually earn a state championship in what they're doing. So it's much like football or soccer, where they're going to training and then they get to go and perform and compete. So it's an individual thing that they get to go out and do and just enjoy spending time meeting new friends and competing with their peers. So our black belt program, we have a $277 initial investment that will cover a basic gear package, will cover the first month's tuition and a uniform. And then we have a biweekly tuition of $99, and that covers all classes plus all of the gear and whatnot. And then we do 6-month and 12-month programs for that. So depending on what it is that you're looking for, we can get you into a program that's going to work for you. And then we also have a family program. That's a $347 initial investment, and all members of the family. So it's not just 2. If there's 4 members in your family, that will cover all 4. Everybody gets the gear package, everybody gets the uniform, and then the full schedule. So that is a $179 biweekly investment that will help your family. It's a lot of fun for families to come in and train with each other. Unlike soccer or football, you actually get to practice with your child, and you also, if you want to, compete with your child, which is something you would never get to do with the other ones. So it's a lot of fun. It builds strong family bonds. It makes it fun. We get to travel together, hang out together, be a community together, and it's a wonderful opportunity for all of our families to be able to do that and spend some quality time together. They can train at home. Everything that they do will involve martial arts in some frame or fashion. So it's an all-around awesome opportunity for families to spend a lot of time together. So are you ready to begin the journey of a lifetime? Train like you're a black belt. And the journey begins with your first step, getting signed up, getting on the mats, and getting started. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And hopefully we'll get you going on the mats.
Woo! Woo! Love it, love it, love it. So thank you, Mr. Yarwood. I think this is a great basis now. And over the next few weeks, as we do these video chats, we'll explain and maybe go into some depth, do some testimonials, share some things that have happened inside of many of those different slides, the 11 slides that we looked at. And so our goal is not only to be the provider of martial arts for a family, also to be a filter for transforming their communication. Person to person, student to parent, parent to student, student to school, and school to student. And you might think it interesting, well, how are you going to impact the school, Mr. Yarwood? To know that he's been doing it now for this many years, he's seen, even without his push or effort, the impact of the one child showing up in their classroom that is on track. So with that, I'm super thankful for all of those of you that have listened, those of you that have come in and go out, come in and go out. That's what the beauty of this is, because you can come in, click it, listen to it, pause it, come back again. And I'm so grateful for that ability. And inside of that, Mr. Yarwood, thank you so much. I see that this is a good point for us to kind of pause and let people listen to all of this, let it sink in, maybe come up with some questions for next week. And it is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to spread the word as far and wide as you can. Because even for those of you that may be listening, because I have a lot of people that I'm connected to in India and Singapore, in France, even people that are living in those places, you can take the information you're learning here today and reach out to some of the managers, owners of some of the restaurants and create a fun space. Share with people, PTA, PTOs, parent-teacher organizations. So thank you so much to each and every one of you. Mr. Yarwood, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, so I love this opportunity to be able to get out what we do, how we can impact people beyond just the physical. I feel like karate to some people might just be an activity. To me, it's a lifestyle. I believe that it has great value to everybody who comes and trains. The biggest thing is the only way you're going to find out that value is to come and do it. Come and try it out. You can jump on the mats, try a few classes, and see what you think. We'll have conversations about what your goals are in life. Maybe we can help you with your physical fitness goals. Maybe we can help you with your struggling with some self-confidence issues, some body issues, whatever that is. We can cover all that stuff. We have a lot of families. We have a lot of adults. We have, like, Coach Les himself comes and trains with us. We have anywhere from 4-year-olds up to 60-year-olds and everything in between. So there's a place for you if you're interested. Just come try it out. And it takes a lot of courage to get out there, but you'll get out there, you'll have some fun, and you'll enjoy it. And it'll probably be a great decision for you and your family. So appreciate spending the time with you, and hopefully we'll see you on the mats.
And we will be back here next week, approximately the same time on Thursday morning, running into Thursday afternoon, as you can see, over the noon hour.
Yes, sir.
And we'll also be bringing, we'll have a QR code that you can connect to. We'll stick it out and you can connect to it. And what's at the other end of that QR code, Mr. Yarwood?
We have a special. It's $29 for 6 weeks of training. It comes with a uniform. Come and try out our classes. No, $29 investment, and you'll find out exactly what we're all about, and hopefully get you going on your journey to becoming a black belt.
Awesome. And with that, I am going to do a little, see if I can do this, and then we'll come back and say cheerio. All right. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Yarwood, for your time. And for those of you that listen in the future to this, we really appreciate it. And once again, look forward to connecting with you. We'll have some more ways to connect as we go forward. And with that, I'm going to close this bad boy down, and we'll see you next week.
See you on the mats.